Right, it's time for your update, boys and girls.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought.
Yo, people, what's going on? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. I hope you're doing well. Genuinely do hope that, friends. Welcome back to Chelsea News. It's back. The daily series, that's right, daily, throughout the summer show here on the channel where I keep you updated, informed, posted on what's going on around Chelsea and our crazy, ever-changing football club. Of course, new gaffer, new players coming in, a few players need to come out as well, and there's lots of stuff to get into today. I'm going to talk about Lukaku, my boy Wesley Fofana, the goalkeeper, and an article on the Evening Standard by Nick Puel about the players actually excited about the new manager, despite being dismayed about Pochettino's exit. So, there's lots of intel here, lots to get into, and I'll thank you for joining me. If you want to support the content, you know what to do, baby girl. Simply drop a like. I always click my finger, but most of you are watching on a handheld device, so almost certainly use your thumb to tap like. If you choose to subscribe, hit the bell noti icon, because there's so much content. 1 or 2 videos a day at the moment because I'm trying to keep up with the news. So make sure you hit the bell if you choose to subscribe, mate. Alright, let's start off with Romelu Lukaku, an update from Fabrizio Romano. Of course, there's been speculation from myself as well on previous videos about because Conte is going to... Should we get some more light on my face? Let's see if this helps. I don't think it matters. Alright, let's turn that off. Yeah, Conte going to Napoli. Osimhen likely to leave Napoli. Conte loves Romelu Lukaku. You know, it's easy to piece together a story here where some sort of swap kind of deal can be done. Now, as it stands, Romano's confirmed that's not on the cards at the moment, but it could happen. I was obviously just speculating, like, wow, that could happen. But it would be helpful if it did, right? Lukaku wants to stay in Italy. Of course, Napoli aren't in the Champions League. Defending champions, finished 8th. Wow, that's like Chelsea 2015-16 vibes. Yeah, so Lukaku would like to stay in Italy. It's a massive club, Napoli. I reckon he'd probably like that move. We'll see what happens. Of course, Osimhen will have offers, most notably probably Paris Saint-Germain, and he'll get loads of money off them should he go there over Chelsea. Lukaku, there is a gentleman's agreement clause. It's not an official buyout clause, but Chelsea promised him if we get 40 million euros for him, we will accept the transfer. And yeah, and I think that's fair, right? He scored a bunch of goals. He's still Belgium's all-time top goal scorer. He's still in scintillating form. For the Euros qualifiers, he was the top scorer in the qualifying campaign. He's still got that juice. He's got to be worth 40 million euros, right? Yeah, we'll see what happens there. Before we get into this article from Nick Puel. A couple of little updates. Firstly, it looks like it's been confirmed on social media that Wesley Fofana will be joining Enzo Maresca. A couple of people have told me off for saying that. I'm sort of adding a different European flair, Maresca, to his pre-season, Wesley Fofana. Now, I'm hoping Wesley comes up with the goods because he was such an amazing centre-back, unique. He's still really young. He's my favourite centre-back at the club, Chelsea Football Club. People love Levi Colwill. He's young. You know, Liverpool look like they're in for him again with Arne Slot after Jurgen Klopp. I don't think that will happen. He's just signed a new deal, Levi Colwill. But yeah, Wesley Fofana, should he reach the ceiling or the capacity he can reach like he did before his injury, he's amazing. He's an amazing defender. He's an amazing ball carrier. He can pass. He's just got his vibes. He loves Chelsea. He supports Chelsea. You know, this is his dream move. He's here. And he's just ruddy wicked. So for him to be joining pre-season, I think that's excellent. I'm really, really backing him to become a starter in this Chelsea side because I just love the way he plays football. And that would be really good for me. Up the Fofana. All right, goalkeeper. So yes, this is a big talking point for Chelsea. I don't think Kepa's going to stay at Chelsea. I know he's technically good with his feet, Kepa. I don't want him to be the... So he's got 12 months left on this deal. Let's just try and find a way out. It's not going to be Robert Sanchez for his footballing ability. I'll reiterate, Bettinelli will stay third choice goalkeeper at Chelsea, which is great. He's a good vibes man. He's just happy to be knocking around Chelsea being third choice. Now, Ben Jacobs, reporter, has been informed that actually when Maresca had that talk in Marbella with the sporting directors, he singled out Georgi Petrovic and praised him, like, yeah, he's done really well. But this doesn't mean he wants him as his goalkeeper. In fact, Chelsea are looking in the goalkeeper market, and it's become a major priority since because of Enzo Maresca's style. The goalkeeper, is it Valencia goalkeeper Georgi Mamadashvili and Philip Jorgensen have been appreciated. So goalkeepers on the market, you must excuse my pronunciation there. But yeah, I think him praising Georgi Petrovic might just be a case of, oh, you paid 14 million for this guy. Yeah, he's like a good backup, and that's good value. Rather than, he's a guy. He's the guy to lead me into glory. Of course, Chelsea are going to be in 2 cups, as well as a European campaign next season. Ding, 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 ding. Again, I'm quite excited about the conference. You know, I must admit the conference final yesterday I turned off and I didn't see the winning goal. That, by the way, Fiorentina versus Olympiacos. The opening, 10 minutes, I was like, this game's going to be 4-4. Not so much. Anyway, I am excited to be in the Conference League personally. I think it's an opportunity for Chelsea to do lots of rotation. It's been confirmed that Chelsea are looking to utilise 4 of their academy development squad players in pre-season this summer. And actually, Enzo Maresca has been tasked with integrating the young players by the sporting directors, which would probably be a popular move for many Chelsea fans. Everyone sort of thought, yeah, Pochettino is the guy for young players, but he's kind of like the young high-profile players, and he didn't really bring academy players through, not at all, in fact. A couple, maybe. Alfie Gilchrist, he's 20 years old, he's not one of the younger ones. But yes, I think Enzo will be tasked to do this, and it looks like he's bringing a bunch of the young kids on pre-season with him. So yes, there's work to be done. Goalkeeper will be looked at despite Georgi Petrovic being praised. Wesley Fofana coming in to the preseason. Very excited about that and joining the youngsters. And we'll see what happens with Lukaku and Kepa as we go, boys and girls. Now let's hop into this article.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy.
Didn't mean to start the intro there. That's embarrassing. So... Let's try that again. Transition. Yeah. All right. You know, it's been a long day. I've been up very early already. So, yes, Nick Puel of the Evening Standard writes this: Chelsea stars dismayed by Pochettino exit. They're already excited about Enzo Maresca's ideas. He writes this: Chelsea players are excited about the prospect of working with Enzo Maresca and believe his tactical acumen can help them thrive. If this works, then this will be a really positive move. If we build a great squad and have an appropriate manager, then maybe, and it's too early to say, we have to see us play football yet, but maybe we're actually starting to begun? We're being run well, hopefully. Right. Maresca is finalising his appointment, and the move for the 44-year-old Italian has been welcomed by the squad as they feel his style of football will suit them. Now, we've spoken about this, like the Chelsea squad. We've got a lot of technicians. We've got really good, just technically positive players, and we've been playing in a way under Pochettino that doesn't get the most out of that. Pochettino is quite transitional. It's high press, it's counter press, it's run. It's kind of chaotic. It's less keep the ball and utilize your fast passing and technical ability. Whereas Enzo Maresca's football should optimize that in terms of the skills of the players. So Chelsea midfielder Cesare Casadei, of course he worked under Maresca on loan at Leicester last season, has spoken to his teammates in glowing terms about him. Players have also spoken to friends and counterparts at both Leicester and Manchester City, where Maresca worked, of course, alongside Pep Guardiola. And his appointment has generated excitement among the squad, given all the reports have been extremely positive. So everyone who's worked with him at Man City, at Leicester, they're all like, yeah, this guy's wicked. And to hear that from Cesare Casadei, of course, who's worked under Pochettino for 6 months as well, and indeed a pre-season, is super positive. Right, hold on, I've got to sneeze. Well, didn't even sneeze. That's really frustrating. Yes, let's read on. Maresca has been characterized as a player's coach in terms of understanding what makes a new generation tick and what younger players in particular need to thrive physically and mentally. By the way, I do think Pochettino was good at that. This is not like a hit piece on Poch. Poch was clearly very good at a lot of that, you know, and that's why the players were sad. You look at what he did with Noni and Jackson, and, you know, I do kind of feel like Palmer was just good. But he's definitely had some good work there. But this is what Maresca's considered anyway, so he's good at just getting players to thrive and get their best selves out. Chelsea players were said to have been dismayed by the departure of Mauricio Pochettino, having felt he had turned a corner in working out how to get the best of them. Yeah. But they were also not blind to some of the issues that had developed between Pochettino and the Chelsea board. And with Maresca set to take the helm at Stamford Bridge, the mood in the squad has lifted markedly. The players are understood to believe that his preferred tactical plans can help them thrive, that his ideas will prove a good fit. Maresca's favoured 4-3-3 and his 4-2-3-1 formations that shift into a back three, of course, in possession, with inverted fullbacks creating the potential for an extra man to operate higher up midfield. So this is the stuff they're looking forward to. There's a similar stuff we're doing with Poch, but this is more like, you know, dogmatic philosophy, kind of like, this is just how we play, always play. So, of course, the co-sporting directors, Winstanley and Stewart, had identified Maresca as a leading candidate to take Chelsea forward, in part because of that approach, in terms of how he plays. And the word has started to filter through in the last few days among the players that Maresca could be heading to Chelsea. That choice has found fast approval with the players. Maresca is known to push his players hard, but has always been at pains to explain the reasoning behind his approach, which is kind of like the opposite of like someone like Conte, who's like really meticulous, hard training, but like you don't question him, you just do what he says. Or maybe you won't explain it. He is thought to want his players to know exactly why the elements of training and preparation are carried out, so that they are aware in advance of the benefits. Like, right, this is going to suck, this is going to be really hard work, but this is why we are doing it, and this is why it's going to work, and therefore, you know, you must have 100% buy-in. The former West Brom, Juventus, and Sevilla midfielder believes that open attitude allows him to take players with him on his process, with that inclusivity, also helping to build strong bonds. Yeah, like I saw on Alex Goldberg's stream that he's been doing recently, that Leicester expert explained how when they won the league, all the players went around his house at 2 a.m. in the morning, you know, and they weren't playing, it was another game, and they all decided to turn up and they had a party at his house. So there is a bond there. He's not like this authoritarian. He does like vibe with the players as well, which I think is probably massive. I mean, 44... it's not young, but like, if you've retired, like, I don't know, 8 years ago or something, you're still relatively connected to the game. Do you know what I mean? Chelsea players will need to trust their incoming head coach as he negotiates a busy pre-season with Wesley Fofana, including a US tour before jumping straight into another grueling Premier League campaign. We've also got 2 qualifiers for the Conference League. We forgot that we've actually got to play a 2-legged qualifier, I think, and God, if we lose that, Jesus. The board fully believe the squad is capable of a top 4 finish, but will also chase further new recruits this summer. Something we've spoken about and something we will continue to speak about here on the channel over the coming days, weeks, months. Chelsea are set to prioritise a new keeper, we've spoken about. Centre-back, interesting. I think maybe we need like a ball-playing quarterback centre-back. And a left-back, as well as a forward this summer. Something we've spoken about in yesterday's video. Go check that out if you're yet to watch it. They want to move forward with a head coach who is eager to get into the granular work of coaching on the training pitches, and Maresca fits that bill. The players are said to be excited about the scope for the clear, focused direction that having a tracksuit coach as a figurehead can bring. Yeah, he is meticulous. I know they call him Diet Pep or Pep Light or whatever it is, but much like Arteta and Guardiola, he is an absolute crazy guy. He's so meticulous. He's mega fine details, which Jose Mourinho was early doors as well. He's massive details, man, much more than Pochettino. Pochettino is kind of closer to Ancelotti, I feel, in terms of being a little bit of an elite vibes man. Maybe not as elite as Ancelotti in terms of his career, but it's like work really hard, run loads, and then express yourself. I know it's quite reductive, but there is a little bit of that with Pochettino, and this will be the antithesis. It's going to be the opposite with Maresca. Even though it was coming together a little bit with Poch, obviously the relationship was breaking down between club and manager. Not in a toxic way, but in a way they realised probably won't work, let's split ways. Which again, amicable, genuinely, and actually quite an adult divorce between manager and club. So yeah, but even like his style, like it was just, I don't think they were convinced by it. And I don't think all players were convinced by it. I know they feel like they found it in the end, but if you look at how they're reacting to what Enzo Maresca is going to bring, how he's going to apply them, how he's going to get the best out of them, and how they're going to play football, they seem to be responding really positively, not just from this article, but from multiple reports. Players are very, very excited to get cracking with Enzo Maresca, which is great. It's all very well getting excited and jacked early doors, but we won't know until we know. Obviously, they're probably going to try and do their hardest, or, you know, stick with him as much as they can because he's on a 5+1 contract. But turbulent times will be very, very illuminating to their resolve, if you know what I mean. I wonder if there's clauses in his contract as well, like if you're just bad, we can sack you. Or like after a certain amount of time. Look, yeah, it's easy to get excited, but we'll see what happens. If we get touched up loads in pre-season and we lose our first 5 games of the Premier League campaign, then yeah, ask me again then. But you know, you can only judge what you see on the surface, and I see a coach with a lot of hype around him. I often listen to so many football podcasts. I just listen to loads. And again, I listen to Football Ramble. It's not particularly like a high analytical one, but the host was talking about it and saying he thinks Chelsea, and they take the rip the so-and-so out of Chelsea all the time. But they were like, they think this is an excellent job. They said Kieran McKenna would be mental to go to Chelsea, but for some reason they're all speaking really positive about Enzo to Chelsea, saying that they really think Chelsea's got a great coach here who's going to be one of the recent greats for a long time, and it could prove to be a really canny acquisition, you know, for not that much money in terms of his wages, and really not that much in terms of compensation. And maybe he suits the squad a lot better. You know, we see Enzo Fernandez shining again, and Chelsea not conceding loads of goals all the time, and just generally us not having heart attacks all the time watching Chelsea. That sounds nice, right? Anyway, yes, that's what I wanted to speak about today. Keep it locked, guys. Of course, as the stories develop with transfers and indeed stuff like this about the squad and the management, I'll react to it here on the channel. Thank you for liking and subscribing, and hope to see you back here, mate. Peace.